Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar where we're going to be discussing STL Startup Week speaker applications. We're super excited to be working with you all on this. And I apologize, just letting people in. We're super excited to being able to open up this opportunity for our community of entrepreneurs, of local experts who have so much to give to the community. Um, and if you don't know, my name's Ben Molina, and I work at Cortex, and I am one of the speaker co-chairs, as well as Shannon Doherty with UKG, who will be supporting you through the application process, and if elected, through the whole process through the end of STL Startup Week. So why don't we begin by talking about what is STL Startup Week? STL Startup Week is really a week of entrepreneurial events where we're looking to inspire other entrepreneurs. It's an opportunity for entrepreneurs to connect, to educate one another, and it's really a celebration of our ecosystem. If you have never participated, the audience really varies, but it is both a mix of entrepreneurs, small business owners, professionals interested in learning more about entrepreneurship, investors, etc. But it's really open to anybody who wants to join us and be part of this exciting experience. There are some key changes to STL Startup Week this year. The main one is that we have moved STL Startup Week from September to November. So this year, STL Startup Week will run from November 11th through November 15th. Much like last year, all of the events for STL Startup Week are going to be in person in St. Louis, Missouri. So unfortunately, if you are from out of state and you're looking to speak, you will have to fly into St. Louis to speak at STL Startup Week. Every day looks slightly different and has a different location. So Monday through Friday, you'll see us rotate through different co-working spaces in the St. Louis region, including Cortex, Tech Artista, etc. In addition to these uh, core events, we will also have signature events during the week. I won't speak to this very much, just know that there's some exciting developments happening during STL Startup Week to add on to the fun that will be happening uh, in the evening times as well as during the event. Now, for the week, we have approximately 20 speaker slots to fill. So these are application uh, only speaker slots. So you have to apply to speak at STL Startup Week. What we are looking for is 1 hour sessions. So we're asking all of our applicants to be ready, to be prepared to submit a session that will last an hour long. And we're really open to multiple formats, whether you just want to do a presentation, perhaps you want to have a panel discussion and work with other peers and invite them to be part of your session. If you want to have it more workshop style or demo, we are opening the floor for you to be really creative in how you want to present your session. Now, if you have multiple individuals that are going to be presenting with you, we ask that you only submit one application and have one point of contact that will be the primary person that we will be communicating with in order to stay in touch with you. And when you are submitting your application, we ask that you have thought through who are those individuals that are going to be participating with you and already have that lined up. One of the most exciting changes that we have to STL Startup Week this year is that we have a theme, and we have also broken down each session into different tracks. So all of the applications must speak to our theme and fall within one of our tracks. And the next slide, we'll talk about that. And then just wanted to let you know that we may have practice sessions for speakers, but that is going to be based on interest. And really, if you are selected to speak at STL Startup Week, my ask will be that you reach out to me um, and set up one of those practice sessions. But more information will come about that once we have selected the speakers. So ta-da, our theme for SEL Startup Week this year is Venture Boldly. I think this speaks to so many entrepreneurs in the region. And we ask that all of your sessions tie back to this amazing theme and your experience in venturing boldly. Now, we have also broken down each day into different tracks. So we'll have one track on marketing and branding, a separate track on people, culture, product and design, capital, growth, and scaling. So as you are developing and submitting your application, you will be asked to select one of these tracks that your session best falls under. Now, if it doesn't fall neatly into one of these tracks, choose the one that most closely aligns with your session. Now, in your applications and in the speakers, we're really looking for engaging talks with interesting topics. Really thinking about what is going to drive attendance to this to your session. Um, and you can be really creative around what you want to teach, what you want to give back to the entrepreneurial community. We're looking for diverse individuals and perspectives that are representative of the St. Louis regional community. And sessions that are relevant to our theme that focus on education and insight over personal promotion. That means we're asking that you do not treat this as a personal sales pitch for your business or for the services that you provide. It really is about giving back, inspiring, educating other entrepreneurs through your journey, through what you have learned. And lastly, please don't submit an incomplete application. If you do submit an incomplete application, we may or may not reach back out to you to finish that application. But if it is incomplete, we will not take it into consideration. Now, we have been very transparent on our website about what the selection criteria and rubric is going to be as we select speakers. So once all of the applications have been submitted and applications close, a committee of SEL Startup Week members and community partners will gather to evaluate each and every one of the applications to make a final decision. And this is what we're looking for. Number one, engagement and presentation skills. The primary thing that will speak to this is that 60-second video that you will have to turn in as part of the application. We want to see you presenting. We want to see you engaging with the audience. That will give us the best idea of who you are and what you bring and why you're passionate about your session. We will also rate this on expertise and experience. What makes you qualified to speak on this topic? We're also looking for originality and innovation. I think all of us have seen some of the same topics repeated throughout our years in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Now, not that they're bad or that they're wrong, a lot of this information is really great, but how are you presenting it in a way that's innovative, that's connecting with the audience? Last, Fourth, actionable takeaways. What is the audience taking away from your session? What can they implement in their business that will help their business move forward and closer to making more money? Um, then we have alignment with theme. Like I said, our theme is Venture Boldly. We're super excited about this theme, and your session has to speak to this theme. And then lastly, audience appeal. So we want these sessions to be engaging. It's what's going to draw people to your session. It's what's going to draw people to STL Startup Week. So we want all of the sessions to be appealing and engaging to the audience. If you want to take a look at the rubric and the breakdown, you can find uh, this on our website, stlouisstartupweek.com, I believe it is. And then lastly, because we believe in equity and inclusion and including as many diverse voices, both in thought and culture and race, the committee is going to take into consideration the representation of those individuals in the final selection. We want this to be really representative of all of the St. Louis region, although this will not have a factor and will not be assigned a numerical score. But we did want to let you know that we are committed to having diverse presenters. Now, I told you this was going to be quick. So, next steps. So, right now, our applications are open for you to go in and submit your application for STL Startup Week. Applications are going to close on Friday, August 9th at 11:59 p.m. So please, please, please start working on your applications. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me or Shannon. If you want to just bounce off ideas with us, we are happy to do that with you. But once the applications close, we will make our final selections by Friday, August 30th, where you will be notified if you have been selected to speak at STL Startup Week. And we will also notify those who have not, unfortunately, been elected to speak at STL Startup Week this year. Um, One thing I forgot to mention is that in your commitment to speaking at STL Startup Week, we will be asking you to sign a waiver to allow us to record and release a video of your session. So please be sure that your session is appropriate to be recorded and released to STL Startup Week and is not, let's say, part of your proprietary sessions that you perhaps give on an exclusive basis. But we're super excited to open up the applications to the community. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'd be happy to answer any questions in the next 15 minutes about your application or any general question. So feel free to unmute yourself or chat or put a question in the chat. Absolutely. So someone asked, can you speak more to what venture boldly means? So I think this is a good opportunity for some inner reflection about what it means to you. What does it mean to be an entrepreneur, to boldly pursue your business, your ideas, to what has inspired you, what has made you make that change? It's really a reflection of you and what that means to you. I believe we may have a definition of um, what venture boldly means officially, but what we're really saying is what does it mean to you? What we're really asking is what it means to you. Yes. So one of the questions was, can we participate if we are not citizens? Absolutely. We are not asking any information about status. Um, Anybody can participate. We're really asking more so about your name, your background, in what the session is about. What other questions do we have? Will the session recordings be co-owned? Um, Absolutely. In the past, we have been happy to give a copy of those sessions to the speakers. And if we have uploaded something, we have shared it with you so that you can also share it on your social media and on your pages.
Hi, Ben. I have a question. This is Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
Hi, friends. So I'm not, but I've had a couple of questions about people who are either new to their entrepreneurship journey, maybe haven't necessarily made any traction just yet, but they're out there. They're doing the thing. How can they speak to lessons that they've learned or things that they've encountered while maybe not having like a finished product or maybe not having a fully fledged business just yet? How can they speak to what they've learned in an impactful way?
That's a really great question. So something that we have, been clear about not presenting is we're not asking how much money are you bringing in? Is it? How long have you been in business? Because we know that the a startup community really ranges from people who are just ideating through people who have had, sold and started multiple businesses. So don't feel like you are disqualified if are in any of that part, in any of that journey. Um, if you have something to give back to the community, especially as you have been starting out, many people are, you know, at that stage alongside you. So please feel free to submit an application. And I think something that we also put on our website is we want to celebrate both big and small wins. And so a lot of times when you're starting out, those small wins are very huge and impactful. So please don't hesitate to speak to those. If there is a presentation, do you anticipate a Q&A at the end? If so, is 5 to 10 minutes appropriate to allocate? Absolutely. We always encourage a Q&A. Well, perhaps you don't have a Q&A as part of your session. Um, but if you will have a Q&A, yes, please allocate some time. Yeah, I believe I missed one question. Do presenters have to be working at a tech company specifically? I'm co-founding a company that elevates women in tech, but we're not considered a tech company. Where we build out platform for businesses or consumers to use. We are inviting anybody that is in a startup, regardless of what industry you are in. In fact, we want people from a wide variety of industries to apply, from ag tech to service businesses, to tech businesses, to advanced manufacturing, to consumer product businesses. Regardless of what industry you are in, if you feel like you have something to give back and to teach, and it applies to a wide range of entrepreneurs, this is your time to shine and to submit that application. Someone asks, what are some topics that have been presented in the past that have been repeats? So what we can do is put a list of all of the sessions from 2022 and 2023 on our website, so you can take a peek about on what has been presented in the past. Um, but it really has range, topics on AI, topics on marketing, um, uh, finances, uh, I don't have the exact topic names right now, but we'll be happy to put a list of those on our website under the speaker section.
Ellie has another question.
Yes, Ellie.
So say I want to do maybe like a panel discussion, and I know what the topic is, but I don't have my speakers picked out just yet. Can I go ahead and submit just on the idea and then tell you who I want to speak later?
This is I would discourage you from submitting an application without knowing who else is going to be part of your session. Um, And only because this has happened in the past, and we have learned that oftentimes folks will wait until the last minute to complete their panels. And so we ask that it's as complete as possible, and you let us know who is going to be speaking with you.
And if that person changes, we would tell you, but
Yeah,
have
and if
like
the
have
person
like a
changes, that's okay.
sure, but like have a plan at first.
Yes.
And then similar question or similar vein, how many people is too many people for a panel?
Too many people. I would say past five is probably too many people, especially during an hour. It doesn't give people enough time to talk. So if it's one person that's moderating and four other speakers, um, or for their panelists, that's probably a good sweet spot.
Yeah, I can chime in, Ben. Ellie's Matt. So the first question, I think that if you have asks out, I think that's fine. If you're still confirming, I agree with Ben and saying that even when we've had some panelists confirm, there's folks that like drop out for, for whatever reason. So I think even if you have like two or three confirmed, and then you can put sort of like the sort of title or like the nature of the panelist to be like, you know, AI expert or whatever, just to like I think it gives some flavor to like what the direction of the panel will be. Um, and then yeah, I agree with Ben. I think that personally, I think no more than three panelists plus a moderator for like an hour session. I think if it were longer, then you could have more just in terms of like I've been on a couple panels where there have been five and like I got to speak once and that was it sort of makes your panelists feel like, well, why did you ask me if you weren't going to um allow me to talk to the audience.
Groovy. Thank you for that. And also, if anybody is looking for a moderator, that's kind of my favorite thing. So, Ellie Scott, found me on LinkedIn. Happy to do it.
Good shout out, Ellie. Any other questions before we wrap up? All righty. Well, again, we just wanted to express our sincere gratitude for your interest in applying to speak at STL Startup Week. We really could not do this without all of our community supporting us during this week and supporting each other in giving back and educating and inspiring other members of the community. So again, thank you all. We look forward to staying in touch and engaging with you. And please, please, please help us out by following us on our LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram pages and sharing any updates that are coming out. Thanks so much, folks. Please don't hesitate to reach out.